Hey guys, how you doing? It's Kevtech here, bringing another video on information technology. I hope you're having a good day. Happy Saturday. And today I want to go over the Linux Try Hack Me Room. Obviously, you need to make sure to know what to do. Rate, comment, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. I know some people are going to say, like, wait, Kev's covering Linux? Is there something wrong with him? Did he fell on the floor and hit his head? What happened? No. So the majority of the jobs that I have worked, we use Windows, but I'm going to cover Linux today because some jobs you do use Linux. So and all the jobs I had worked, I had never used Linux in my life. Just letting you guys know, I probably use WSL too, and that's it. And setting up WSL and helping a customer with that and helping a customer with some Linux stuff, but like super rare that I touch Linux or do Linux or troubleshoot Linux. But I want to make a video on this because like you shouldn't understand Linux, especially if you're trying to get a job in cybersecurity or you're trying to be a Linux admin or Linux system support admin. Anything to do with Linux support, like whether you're gonna use Red Hat or whatever, like you should know Linux a little bit. So I'm gonna share my screen. It's gonna be fun actually. Like this room is super fun, by the way. So you guys are gonna enjoy it. So let me share my screen and go over this real quick. It shouldn't probably take 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try to skip some of the stuff and go over the actual stuff you need to know. So hopefully that it helps you out. All right. So we share my screen. All right. So literally, this is the room. It's called Linux Fundamentals Part 1. There's a video here. It actually shows you like how to actually do some of the stuff in this room. It's Introduction to Linux. You don't need to, you don't gotta put anything here. Like I answered it right. I did this room already. The history of Linux, Windows and Mac, how to use groups and stuff. So it's gonna cover like just fundamental knowledge, like talking about like Windows, iOS, and Mac OS X, like just basic stuff, right? We don't want to go too in depth because they're gonna get confused and lost, right? And then this one covers about like the minimum requirements, right, to actually install Linux, right? And Linux could be found in a point of sale, on a website, control panel, traffic light controllers, industrial sensors. Really depends on the company. Really depends, right? So those things are very important. You should know. You should understand that. And then here, if you wanna if you really want to know, like here, like you just right click here and then do search, and then it tells you it came out in 1991. So that's the answer for the first question here, and I already put it in there, 1991. That's how I got that answer. So you want to do some research and figure out when the first operating system for Linux came out. It came out in 1991. So now is the fun part right here is where you actually get to interact with the operating system, right? So here it wants me to open up my first Linux machine. So how do I do that? You click Start Machine right here, right? Just give that a second. And apparently the machine is over here somewhere, but Start Machine. I clicked on it, but I see absolutely nothing. So sometimes that does happen where there's a bug with the machine has been started. So what I do usually is if you have like a Linux operating system, I definitely recommend you open it from there. Like this is not working for me for some reason. This is the issue I had last time where I'm trying to open it. Oh, there we go. I got it open. All right, give that a second. So what I'm gonna do is just so you guys could see it. Just trying to open the box. So I know my camera's in the way. I don't want to. You know what I'm gonna do is so the camera doesn't get in the way. I'm gonna shut off my camera for this part of the video. So I'm gonna do stop video. You guys can still hear me. You should still see me. Well, not see me, but hear me, right? I'm gonna leave it as a full screen. I don't want because I want you to see what I'm doing, right? So I'm not turning the camera on afterwards, but just wanted to go over the room. So they want me to actually open the room, right? Which I'm doing right now. So we could just skip this because you deploy the first Linux machine. Okay, I did that already. Yes, I did that already. It's opening. Like so, take a bit of time, but it should open. All right. So these are the commands that you should know, right? Echo, who am I? So you guys know who am I, right? Who am I is basically who is the person that's logged in? Who am I? So we have who am I, and it says the name of the PC, desktop dash MTPN, and you're like, where did that desktop dash whatever come from? So if you go into your local C drive, right? And if you go into your actual this PC, right click properties, right? And then we go to rename this PC advanced. You go to change, that name is right there. So like here's your command prompt, right? Just to share the screen and show you. Here is the name, desktop dash MPTNEDN5, right? So that is my name. And then the name of the computer is /Kevin. Where did that name come from? So you're probably wondering about that. So every computer has their own users. So mine is called Kevin. So the user here is logged in. It's called Kevin, which is why that name comes up when you're doing the command prompt in the command line. That's why, hence why there's C two dots /user /Kevin. So that's where that name comes from. So that is who am I. We want to know who am I, who is this person, and that's what it is. So now that we're here, we're gonna do echo, and we're gonna do who am I. So first command would be who am I, right? On the right hand side. And it says my name is TryHackMe. And right here on the bottom it says what do you logged in as? You're logged in as TryHackMe. And then the other one is what command would it be to do TryHackMe? And it's going to be echo, right? Echo TryHackMe. TryHackMe. So those are the two commands. And if you don't know what to do, you can always click on the hint and it tells you right there, remove the quotation marks. So yeah, echo TryHackMe. So let's go to the next section, which is task 5. And then this is where it gets very interesting because we have what's called ls, which is the listing of the directory. So like if you go here and you do ls, right, it will tell you what the folders are, what folders are located in that specific area. And that's almost the same thing as when you open up the command prompt, right? We open up the command prompt and we do cd, which is called change the directory. And as you see over here on the left-hand side, there is cd available. It's the same command for Linux, which is called change the directory. So if we do change directory, and it's going to say like, it's not going to work because you got to specify what directory do you want to get into. So you do change the directory /users, right? /Kevin. And it should go to that directory. But then do you have anything further? You could go into, like, and then here it comes up with what do you want to go into? You do desktop, and then you do dir, which just tells you what the files are available in that specific desktop that I am going into, like what files are available there, what things are available there. So ls is similar to that. It tells you what directory, what files are there, which is very important because you want to know what files are there. Like instead of me pivoting over, let's change directory, I could just go in and type ls and they'll tell me what folder is what, if that makes sense. So those things are very important. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. And then there's cat, and then there's pwd, and then pwd actually prints a working directory for you. So this is asking me to type in ls, and ls actually this is the folders and this is the file. So you have folder 1, folder 2, folder 3, right? So it says change the directory using the cd command. So yeah, we could definitely do that. So if we want to figure out the path directory, what's going on in there. So let's say how many folders are there? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 folders. Which directory contains a file? Folder 4. And if you want to figure out how that works, you do say cd folder 4. And now we're on folder 4, right? And then we'll do ls, and it'll tell you note.txt, right? And then we'll do note.txt pwd. And this doesn't do anything, but it's just to give you an idea, like what can you do with this, right? And that's basically what it is. So you want to make sure you want to make sure that it gives you more information. So I do pwd, it says home TryHackMe folder 4, right? So, and it says here what what is the contents of this file? Folder 4 says hello world. So if you want, you could do cat folder 4, I believe is what I did, and that didn't work for some reason. So let me figure this out real quick. So if you do cat, and I believe it's note.txt, there we go, hello world. So that's how I got that answer. So that is the answer right there. And then this is the answer from earlier before, which is PWD, which is home try hack me dash folder 4. And that's how I got that answer. So what is the folder path directory? So number 1 is 4 because there are 4 folders. Number 2 is folder 4. Number 3 is hello world. And number 4 is home try hack me folder 4. So these commands are very important to memorize and try to understand what they do and how they work. Obviously, you're going to have to practice it over and over again to understand how they work and understand how it's done in a real world environment. But I love LS. I love CD because you can change directory. I love PWD because it actually tells you what the folder file is in the path directory, which is home dash try hack me dash folder 4, right? So that's pretty cool actually. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to break it down in a non-tech way where you guys understand. So this is the folder directory. This is the path of the folder. This would be like figuring out what path you're under, right? Like using the command line as well, right? So let's go back to searching folders now. We're going to go to our next task, which is called task 6, which is called searching for files, right? You have this thing called using find, which is ls, and then find is find, and you could find information there, and then you could use the grep command, and it allows you to search for content files for specific values that are looking for. So that's what that does. And then you have the cat command. So use grep for access log to find the file that is prefix of try hack me. What is the flag? And this is try hack me access. And if you don't know what this is, you can always click on the hint button and it tells you what it is. So you do grep try hack me access.log, right? So if you go here, and I'm not sure it's gonna let me copy and paste, I'll try copying and pasting, right? And then we're gonna do that. It's not gonna let me copy and paste. So if we go back to hint, it tells you what it is. So it's grep try hack me access log, grep try hack me access that I think is access.log or access.log. And it's probably complaining about it because I'm not on the right directory. So what you're gonna do is you do exit. Should be able to get out of this. I may have to reboot the whole machine or get out of it, but that's basically what it is. So the answer for this one is that. Let me see if I can terminate the machine. So let's see here. Yep. Machine has been terminated. And then I'm going to go back here. I'm going to start the machine again. And then we'll let that go in the background while this is going. Yeah, so that's why it's complaining about it, because I have to go back to the, and I know, and you could exit out of it and start over, like in CMD, like if I go CD, and then do exit, usually it exits out of the command line, but that doesn't work for this, which is totally fine, but we'll let it come back again. That's fine. All right, so yeah, it says grep command allows you to search for content files for specific values. And then yeah, if you guys don't want to do it on the virtual desktop or virtual PC here, which is on the right hand side, you could always install Linux on your own VM and practice it that way. It's entirely up to you. But you understand how the commands work. Obviously, it's not gonna have the same files as this one, as the lab that we're doing, but it's a good way to practice, right? So I'm waiting for the VM to come back up. So we went over a couple of things. So we're gonna go back in time a little bit, right? So we went over LS. LS is listing files. We went over CD, which is changing directory. We went over cat. We went over PWD, which is printing working directory. And then obviously those things are very important when it comes to Linux, because you need to know what's actually in that folder or in that directory, right? So that's why it's important. So yeah, I'm waiting for this to come back up. We already got the answer to this one, and this one. And if you get lost, you can always click on hint. And if you get lost, you don't know what you're doing, you can watch this video. Someone made a video on Try Hack Me and actually cover what's going on in this room. So you should be in a good starting place if you're getting lost or you don't know what to do. But that's pretty much it for that, right? So I'm gonna go back to this one. And there's no answer needed on the bottom one, but this is the answer for that one. And like I said earlier, like here is the room, and then you do gaps dash try hack me. And then you do access the log. It is right there. It's right. It's the answer is right there. So it's right there. THM access, right? And I wanted to show you that on the stream because I don't want you guys to be like, where did you get that answer from? Right, it's right there. So you click on hit, it tells you how to get the right answer. And then we have one more tab we're going to go over, what's called operator. The operator allows you to run commands in the background of your terminal. And then there's like and sign, like the and sign, like a little like sailor bracket sign. The operator allows you to combine multiple commands together in one line of terminal. And this operator's redirector, meaning that we can take the output for the command, such as using cat to output a file and direct it somewhere else. And then dash dash the operator. So this I'm going to copy a large file, and then this is something else. So you definitely want to look at this as well. So this is other commands you can run. This is a little more advanced. Like if you're brand new to IT, like you should probably need to go over this from a couple more times to understand what's going on here. But these are other commands that you could do on Linux. If you want to run a command in the background, what operator would you want to use? So if you want to run a command, what operator, like the answer there is the and sign. So you see it right there. If you want to replace the contents of a file named passwords with the word password 123, what would the command be? And it says echo password 123 dash passwords and dash, right? It would take the output from a command you run and send the output to somewhere else. That's what it does. So that's the answer for that one. If you hint, it tells you like, yeah, you're right. Echo the content name dash file name. And now I want to add a try hack me to find the name passwords, but also key password 123. What would it be? And it says echo try hack me dash passwords. And then if you go over here, the operator outputs a redirector like the previous operator as we discussed. However, this makes this operator different than the other ones. And rather than overriding it, so it's not gonna write over it, right? Any constants, for example, instead it just puts the output at the end, right? So like this one, see how it says echo hello dash welcome. And it says welcome, hello, hey, hello, right? So if you do echo hello, just so you guys understand what's going on here, you're probably confused, right? Welcome. And then you do cat welcome. And yeah, that's right there. Hello is there. So those commands, hopefully that makes sense, but that's what it is. And you only know answer right here. So that's pretty much it for me in this room. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Linux guy, but we'll go over part 2 probably next week if I'm around, because next week I'm out. I'm going to Chicago next week. So we'll see if I'm able to make a video. But it's definitely important to know these commands. And I'm gonna turn my camera back on, and I'm gonna stop sharing. So hopefully that makes sense. Like, learn about the ls command, the listing command, learn about cd, change directory, learn about pwd, learn about cat, right? Those commands are vital to someone that is trying to learn Linux, right? You want to understand Linux if you're going to get into IT or cybersecurity. It doesn't matter, either one or both, right? So those things are very important. And I wanted to cover this because, like I said, I'm not a Linux guy, but I like to teach stuff that I'm not comfortable with, because it's a good way for me to learn it. It's a good way for me to teach it to other people, because some people are not tech savvy and they probably don't understand what's going on. So hopefully this video makes sense and you understand what's going on. And hopefully I broke it down in a non-tech way that you understand what's going on behind the scenes with these commands, if that makes sense. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful day and I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. Take care. Peace. Bye.